Hi everyone, it's Mike Wittig here, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways to import clips into a sequence in Adobe Premiere. So what I have here is I have a sequence already opened up, and I have based that sequence on my video clips that I'm going to be using for this. If I go to my video bin and open that up, I'm going to just organize it in the way that the clips were recorded. I'm going to click on this one right here, and you see it opens in my source panel. So what I want to do now, this is one way to import clips one at a time. So I have this clip here where I want to go, I came out and I had set up my camera, and then I ran inside, and then I wanted to start the clip with the door opening. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit this button here, the mark in button, or hit I. I'm going to hit I just to do it, and that marks an in point right there. And then we're going to go all the way to where I need to go out and out. So I'm going to go back just a little bit. I use the JKL. J to rewind, stop is K, L is forward. I'm going right to where I get out of the frame there. I'm hitting O for out. So I could have also hit this button here. Okay, so now that I have my in and out point placed there, what I can do is I can drag that onto the timeline, or I can press the shortcut keys to get it in. And what I'm going to do first is the shortcut key, which is I'm going to use overwrite, which is the period button. So if I hit the period button, it will go to wherever my playhead is. So I'm going to move my playhead right to the start of the sequence, and then I'm going to hit period. And there's my clip, just as I made the in and out points. Come in, I go out, I'm going to forward here just a bit to make it faster. It goes all the way to there. Beautiful. So now I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select a different clip, and that will be the second part of the same source clip that I have. And what I did was I just did one continuous take, and I moved the camera in between. So I just want it to where my leg starts to come in, or is about to come in. I'm gonna hit in, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go all the way to where I stop, go back just a bit. That's about right there. O. And again, I could hit the period button, which would overwrite it to the timeline, or I could just click and drag it here, and if I'm clicking and dragging, I can drag it to any layer I want. But if I do use the period button, it will go to whatever layer I select as video or audio. So if I move the video up to there, it would go on that layer, and that's how it would work. But I want to show you something else real quick. I'm going to undo that drag method, which worked just fine. And if I were to put this in the middle of this clip, and if I were to hit the period button, which is overwrite again, it would just overwrite it right in the middle of that clip. The reason it's short is because the in and out points are shorter. That could be a problem if it was done by accident. So I'm going to undo that. Let's say I actually wanted it at the beginning of this clip. Would I use the overwrite button? No. What you would want to do is use this one here, which is the insert button, which is the comma. And if I hit the comma, it puts it in front and it moves the clip forward. This is a handy one when you're inserting clips throughout your edit. So let me undo that one more time. If I were to put that one in the center and then hit the comma, it still inserts it, but it splits the clip, but it doesn't actually overwrite it. So I just wanted you to understand that. So that's one way of editing one clip at a time. So you can just enter on, going a bit farther, to the next clip. See, I went there. Just see where I went to here real quickly. I set it on the hood of my car. Then I ran back again, and I did another walk. Make it in point. Right about there. I'm gonna make my out point, and I'm just gonna place that clip here using overwrite there. If I wanted to just drag the audio of this clip, I would drag this part right here. This little waveform that you see there, you could just drag that, and it would just drag the audio layer to it, no video. And if I did want to just drag the video, then I would just drag the video layer here with no audio. Pretty easy. So that's how you can edit straight from the source panel. But what I want to show you now is another way to do this edit. I'm just going to undo this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go up to this clip here, and I'm going to clear the in and outs, just so I'm a bit more clear on what's going on. Okay, go to the beginning of that timeline, and let's select everything from 570 down to right to the end there. I can just click and drag these onto the timeline, and these are now on that timeline, all of the clips in their entirety. That's one way of doing it. I'm going to undo that. I can also have them still all selected here, and then I can just hit overwrite, which was the period button. I could also hit the insert button if I wanted to, but that is another way to do that. So just selecting all the clips and selecting period to overwrite everything works just the same as clicking and dragging. So this is another way to edit with all the clips on the timeline at once. And what we'll do is we'll edit it straight from the timeline, eliminating what we don't need. It's not the way I prefer, but a lot of people do like this way, so here we go. On this method, you make cuts where your in and out points would be, and you eliminate the clips that you don't need anymore. Go to the point where I walk off the frame. All right, I'm gonna cut there. I'm gonna remove this first clip because that is garbage now. And we're gonna go to where I'm about to walk in. It's the same idea as before. Just an FYI, I may accidentally hit the B instead of C for the cut tool because in Final Cut Pro, which I normally edit on, it is the blade tool and the shortcut's B, but that does not work here, so we're going to be using the proper keys. But if you notice that, that's the reason. Go L, go forward, so I go to my next position, onto the hood of the car, and I run over to the other side, and I start walking. I'm going to do a cut there. And I can delete everything in the middle. There we go. That's about right. Cut. Again, using the JKL keys to navigate between clips quickly, fast forwarding, rewinding, stopping, and whatnot. So I'm going to find my next endpoint here with the cut tool. Cut here. Delete. Unlock the car and I go inside, I close the door, and I start it. Okay, so I'm gonna go before I turn off the lights. There we go, I'm gonna cut there. And you get the idea. And then I would go forward and go to the next scene, wherever that might be. But now we have all the good takes that we have here, and what we could do to get rid of these gaps. So now you could eliminate these gaps by selecting the space and then hitting delete, and doing that one at a time, pulling them all together one at a time. It's a little bit long. Or you could select all the clips, then go up to sequence, and then you can just go close gap. And it brings everything together here. And we have a little bit more of a story now that next time we look at it. I missed the very front one, I guess. So now when I press play, you'll see a primary edit based off the little cuts that I've made so far. Clearly I'll be trimming this back a little bit farther. This is called a primary edit, a dirty edit. So many different kind of words for it. Go like that. Now it's very loose, the edits aren't tight, but they kind of make sense as to where the story will go, right? You see some overlap of scenes, but it gives you a choice to choose what you like. And that's how you do a primary edit in a few different ways. I won't bore you anymore with this part of the process. I'm going to move forward in the background and do this, and I'll come back for part 2 of this video, and we can move forward with editing a vlog. But do this with your tools, choose whatever method you like, and just go through your clips, pick the scenes you want, and build a timeline based off that. Then we can get into the fun part, which is editing and tightening and killing our babies is what they call it, because there are certain scenes that you're going to love that you're going to have to get rid of because it's just too long. I hope that was helpful. Take care.